Well, hello again. It's been 10 months since I last uploaded something, and a lot's happened. Obviously, 10 months is a long time. It's almost a year. So, where to begin? I wanted to do updates. I wanted to do, um, how am I doing? But nothing ever felt really compelling enough to put in a YouTube video because one of the reasons I did this was one for therapy, so I could feel like I was talking to somebody, and now I'm able to go out and do stuff, and I'm able to fill that void in the social scheme of things. So I'm not lonely in the way that I was, where I didn't have any contact with humans. So it's a different kind of loneliness. Now it's no, we'll get into that later. Yeah. So you can tell from the background, I've moved. I'm still unpacking what will be my office. We moved into a house. We moved twice, actually, once from an apartment into another house that was fully furnished. And then now we're in this house that we were able to secure, and gonna try to make it a home for a little bit. We're renting. Next step is to buy, so we're kind of like slowly working our way into that, realm of things. And I know that I'm a little late in the game for some people. 36, and I've never owned a home. It's kind of a big step, and then you make a commitment like that to to pay a mortgage for however long you set up for. Um, that doesn't involve just you. So my girlfriend lives here with me. We rent here together, and then my daughter's here half the time. Everyone's good. Everything's good. Actually, just came back from my 1 year, 9 month um, uh, cancer treatment follow up. It's been 1 year and 9 months since chemotherapy was completed, and man, it doesn't seem like it. Holy crap! When I think about I'm right back there. I'm right back there, and it happened yesterday. So my girlfriend's gonna kill me for drinking that, but I needed it today. So yeah, moved into a new place. I'm doing well. My test came back positive or negative, whatever, however you want to look at it. It was positive news. Um, my protein markers, which is what they look for, were at an all-time low, and usually they're creeping around 2.6, 2.8, and they were 2.1 for what they were looking for. All of my other tests came back great. Like I'm getting the nutrients I need, except for vitamin D. Now, that is partially because I don't go outside. I got so used to not going outside that it's just something I don't even think about. And then now I have a job. That's new. I don't think yeah, I wasn't, yeah, it was right before I got this job. I, uh, I wasn't going outside, so the only time I get to see the sun is when I'm on my way to work or on my way home from work. And now with time change and things like that, it's getting darker and darker, and so I don't even have time to go out unless I want to like go out at lunch and just soak up the sun. But I'm busy, so I mean, a lot of people could probably relate, but on the weekends I don't go out. I stay inside. I don't. I don't know. Something inside me is. I've never really been an outdoorsy person. I've never really wanted to go explore. I don't enjoy camping much. I mean, I'll go do it if it's literally just camping. But it's kind of, I think I've done it once in the last 2 years. So my girlfriend's all into camping. She loves campfires and all that and nature, and that's great. And I love that about her, but I'm not, it's not my thing. So um, here we go, ramble time. So yeah, I guess I just wanted to make an appearance and let everybody know that I'm still alive. And I've had a few people asking me, people that I don't know in real life, people that have followed me on here. And so I thought, maybe I need to get this going again. My my updates are going to be the same, hopefully for the next, every 3 months till year three. My doctor did say that if I continue this trend for 3 years, that she thinks that there's no possibility of the cancer coming back. But since it was stage three, they can never say that I'm fully cured. But that's the best news I can hope for, I guess. So that's good. Um, so I guess, you know, I mean, those are the big updates. Job, doing well there. Is a change. When, I was I had quit my job through like a a voluntary layoff situation in 2000. Yeah, was it 2015? 2015, I guess, in the beginning of 2015. So I hadn't been working through till August that year, and went to work at another company, and then that's when this all happened, right before my 90 days. And then I hadn't worked for a year and 4 months, and then now I'm back in the workforce, and that's different dealing with people again, in a professional manner. Is it's I can do it, but I used to really enjoy it, like the interaction and stuff, and I thought I really wanted that, and I know that the interaction is important, obviously, because I missed it, but I have issues, I have problems socially. I'm a little more socially awkward than I normally was, and I um, have a hard time relating to people with certain kinds of problems and issues and things like that. I have a really low tolerance for things that I used to have a lot of patience for, and maybe that's normal for everybody else, but it's not for me. But I mean, like whenever someone has an issue with something that is literally just first world problems type thing, I can't even grasp what they're talking about, and I have no frame of reference, and I don't even care, because it's like after cancer, nothing really is as serious as the things that we make up in our minds. So I don't know. There's things that they don't tell you about cancer, and maybe it's just me. But from what I'm reading, this is kind of a common trend. Is that once it's done, it's kind of like a. I don't want to compare it to post-traumatic stress disorder because it's a serious thing, and I have friends who have that and family members who have that, and it's a different kind of it's a different level, you know, than say going over serving in the military and doing things that I am going to have to remember for the rest of my life because I was following orders or whatever the case may be. Um, but I'm suddenly aware of emotions that I knew I had, but only discovered and realized that what their true potential was during cancer with all the things that they were putting into me, and it was enhancing my emotions, and I cry a lot and stuff, and basically they told me this is what it's like to be a woman during menopause or during their menstrual cycle, because your emotions are all out of whack because all the chemicals in your body are out of balance and stuff. So I've taken that with me, and that's great. I've got a greater understanding of emotions, and that's great. But when I'm driving to work and I just start busting out crying because I have a trigger, something comes on the radio, a song, a smell, I cannot stand. I'm afraid to go to the beach because the smell of sea salt, like moist um, air that's salty, that I can't even think about it. It smells like saline, and that's the stuff that they put into your port before they do what they need to do for chemo. And I had that done like a lot, and it got to the point where it made me sick. Sick to my stomach. I didn't actually. It wasn't causing me to be sick. It was just a reaction I was having personally. And it's weird that stuff like that will come back, and it's like these little ghosts that are just following you around. So they don't tell you really about that. They don't really mention that too much, the after effects. They're like, hey, you made it, you got out, you're done with chemo, and your tests look good, and I should be thankful for everything that I've got, and I am, but it's a hard road now. It's difficult. It's life is more difficult, not simply because I mean my body's fine. You know, like I don't even notice that I don't have a colon. Sometimes I forget that I don't have a colon. You know, it's like whatever. I that's like the least of my worries. And my biggest fear is driving to work and seeing a bumper sticker on somebody's car that looks like a young girl or something that would probably be sporting a bumper sticker like this for one of her parents, and thinking about my kid and how that could, you know, it says like cancer sucks or whatever, something stupid, or like it's just a ribbon, or, you know, one of those little magnets that go on the back of your bumper sticker. um, it affects me. It's like, man, what if, you know? And then I started thinking about, you know, I made some friends that unfortunately they didn't make it. They didn't they couldn't make it. They didn't have a chance, you know. A friend of mine had 4 different types of stage 4 cancer, you know, and this is his fourth battle with it. And it's just a sad world we live in where that happens and you don't you might know somebody who has cancer, you might have lost somebody who has cancer and it affects you, but then what the real rub is that there's companies out there that are profiting off of this, not looking for a cure. They're profiting off of every single person who goes into a chemo treatment center and has to sit in that chair for 5 hours. They want butts in those seats. They want that. They'll give kickbacks to doctors. They, you know, it's a maybe it works, you know, but there's, you know, evidence that it's not as effective as they claim it to be. But it's the only treatment that they have available in, you know, Western medicine. And um, I don't know. It's just a you start thinking, getting inside your head like that. So there's all these emotions going on and triggers that are going off, and then you start thinking about the world and the way it is, and it's like, okay, I could go out and I could try to change the world, and I want to. I do. That's I don't know how. You know, it's you know. I can sit here all day and say, "Oh, one man can make a difference," and you know, maybe I can, and you know, but it requires a lot of sacrifice on my family's part, and they've already sacrificed so much for what I went through. You know, I don't need to neglect them so that other people don't have to feel the way I do. You know, that's I feel it feels wrong. So then you have all this stuff on top of you. So these are just levels of just emotion and, you know, normal life, I guess, that just starts to compound and wear on you. And, you know, I don't know where I'm at. You know, I'm unsatisfied with life. I'm unsatisfied with the state of the world. I'm unsatisfied with the state of people. They complain so much, and you can't go and shake them out of it because they won't know until they go through something. And even if they did go through something, depending on the person, they may not. They may think that, oh, poor me. You know, they play the victim, and it's like, no, this is something that happens that you've got to accept and deal with and move on. And you may make it, you may not. And that's it. That's like that's bottom line. That's the cold honest truth, and it sucks. Anyway, can you hear that echo? Like, I have nothing on my walls, and this is a big empty room, so I'm probably reverberating like crazy. But anyway, I'm doing well. I'm making more money than I ever had at the job I've got. I like it. I like the people. I like my life. I like my daughter's great. You know, I couldn't ask for a better kid, and my girlfriend is amazing, and life should be great, right? Like life should be. I got the cutest dog in the world, like just sitting over there laying down. Just I've got things in my life that I am very thankful for, but at the same time, it's like all this stuff is. It creates a feeling of depression, and maybe I need to talk to somebody about it. I don't know, but I I have no drive to do anything because it's like, why bother? The world isn't going to change because of one man's actions. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's part of the depression is, feeling helpless, and that's something I'm trying to work out and trying to work around. That's one reason I'm making this video is because, need to get back into it. Need to get back on something. Need to find some focus again. It's like I came back to normal life, and I can't hack it because it's not normal. Um, and there's a lot of people out there, I'm sure, that feel the same way, that are going through this. And so if you know somebody with cancer, don't sit there and assume that their smiles and jokes and laughs are completely legit, because they might be in that moment, but whenever they're by themselves and they're in the dark, or they're on their way to work and they've got to deal with their demons, and it's something that even people who were around for whenever it was happening, they just can't understand. And so it's hard to talk to these people about it. It's difficult, um, because you can say it out loud to them, and they'll sympathize or empathize if they're a normal human being. But you know, how does somebody who knew somebody who went through something know exactly how it feels if they didn't go through it? You know, they went through a different version of it. So I've got to deal with an 18-inch scar down the center of my body for the rest of my life. I've got to deal with the fact that I've got a severe um, hernia. Uh, at a moment's notice, I can't lift things that are heavy. I'm this big, huge guy, and I can't lift something that's over 50 pounds. It changes who you are. It changes what you're able to do. It changes everything about you. It changes everything. And you think that you're going to get back to some kind of normalcy, and it's just not true. It's not going to happen. You get a version of it, but it's not the same, at least for me. So, yeah, with that, I guess I'm done. But for now, I'm gonna try to start doing these again at least once a week, just for me. If you like it, great. Comment, like, subscribe, whatever. These are for me to put out into the universe and see what happens, and if it helps somebody, great. That's really what it's about. Um, yeah. This is something I do have, though. That's a lot of love for people, and people I don't know, people that I do know. There's a different appreciation for them. My girlfriend, my daughter, my ex-wife. I mean, shit. It's like, she helped out. Like, people helped out. People did a lot for me while I was going through this, and they still do. And there's relationships that have to maintain, and you can't forget people, even if you don't like them, or you have bad history, or you have whatever. It doesn't matter. They are still a part of who you are and what you are and what you've become. And that doesn't mean you got to like them or talk to them or anything like that. But it changes your perspective on love and what love is. I don't even believe in that word the way that everyone uses it. I don't even like using that word as to describe my feeling, because it's the closest thing that I can that you'll understand. But it's a deep appreciation for every living thing, and it's just, compassion, I guess, is a better word for it. I dream about a world where everyone is as compassionate as I hope that I am. More than I am. I want that for the world, and because it's needed. It's needed sorely, especially these days. I mean, I know that a lot of people voted for Trump. Okay, and I don't want to get political or anything like that, but the things that he's implementing, the people he's putting in place, the things that have happened, the lies that have been blatantly told, or the wool that's getting pulled over your eyes, and then you're presented with it, and people who supported him still support him just because he's Republican, or because he's not Hillary, or because you were told, you grew up believing in one system, and never explored other options, because that's just the way it was, because that's how you were trained, because you were brainwashed. I mean, truly, I don't believe in either party. I don't want to be a part of any party, but the things that are happening, especially with like the health insurance stuff and the taxes, and it's going to hurt a lot of people, and it's right there in black and white, and people will still ignore it, or they'll still support it because they think it's still better than anything a Democrat will put together. I don't get that. That's one of those problems that I can't relate. It's like if it helps everyone, why not go with it? We all live here. It not you, not you, not you. It's not survival of the fittest. Okay, I think it's great, or it's amazing to me that all of the principles that the religious right Christian that I grew up with, you know, uh, fight and argue against evolution, and yet they're the best example of what evolution has allowed us to achieve, and they indoctrinate themselves with it. Survival of the fittest, like, oh, pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Okay, well, sometimes that's great. Maybe you got ahead because you were able to get bootstraps, but some people don't have shoes. Okay, so that's a metaphor. It's not literally. Yeah, I get it. Whatever. Okay, I think I'm done here. But the takeaways here are: I'm better, uh, physically, on the right track. Things are looking good. Um, the world sucks. I'm depressed, and I'm talking to you about it now because it's associated with cancer, and it needs to be talked about. There's a lot of depression in the world, so whether it's from cancer or not, it doesn't matter. It's something that needs to be talked about. There's too much shit in the world going on right now that people shouldn't have to worry about whether or not their thoughts are secret, um, because they're afraid of what people might say or judge them for whenever they put that out there in the universe. So maybe I'll see you next week.